JHK here for Sportskeeda, and join me right now from Miami is UFC featherweight Danny Chavez. Danny, thank you so much for the time, man. How you feeling?
Hey, man, thank you very much for having me again. Everything is great, man. I just finished doing recovery right now. I'm feeling great. I can't wait to go home and get in my bed and go to sleep, man. A lot of training going on, and like I said, I did some stretching, and I just got a massage. So I'm nice and relaxed.
That's good. That's good. That's good to hear, man. Let's jump right into it. July 31st, you're back in the octagon against the Korean Superboy. When you got the name, man, on the contract, you probably was a little hype, man. It's a decent name in your return, right?
Yes, yes. You know, I was very excited, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, when you hear a name like that thrown at me, it's two things. You know what I mean? Like one, they really like you and they want to make you fight. They one, I feel like stylistically is a fight of the night. You know what I mean? Me and him could make fight of the night happen. And two, I feel like the UFC looks at me as a top guy too. You know what I mean? They see me as a high caliber fighter because to just give me a Korean Superboy is a big name. You know what I mean? Everything I got in the UFC, I've been getting nothing but respectable names. I got TJ Brown first, I got Jared Gordon second, and I got the Korean Superboy. I'm excited, man. I'm very excited.
And also, all of them are totally different fighters, man. It's not like one is similar to the other, right?
No. Well, TJ, I would say TJ will be the closest thing to Jared in a sense of, but I still was like different height, different reach. TJ's a little bit more of a striker. He throws kicks. Jared, you know he was gonna go for the takedowns. Um, it was a little different. You know, a Korean Superboy is completely different. Yeah, you know, I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not saying he doesn't have any ground. I just don't know if he's really gonna go for. I just don't know if he's gonna go for a takedown or not. I just, like I said, I he's not known for that. He's just known for his kickboxing.
If you do watch the film on the Korean Superboy from back in the day when he fought in Japan and in the UFC, he's basically sprawl and brawl. Not really brawl, but technical striker. He's not gonna grapple with you unless you want to grapple. It's kind of a matchup that is tailor-made for both you guys. Like you said, a fight of the night, right? Do you look at it as stylistically something that excites you more than, let's say, a Jared Gordon fight or even a TJ Brown?
Yeah, because you know, I feel like me and even for him, he probably looks at me as a kind of fight too. He probably looks at it as like, oh, Danny's gonna come and strike with me only, compared to when you have to think of the takedown. You know, when you have a guy that you always think of the takedown, it doesn't sometimes let you flow with your striking because you gotta be aware of the takedown. You know what I mean? And I have great takedown defense. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been wrestling for a long time. I always tell people, I've been when I first started fighting, I used to wrestle a lot. I used to wrestle my fighters. I used to take my fighters to the ground. I used to be a big fan of George St. Pierre, and I used to kind of like mimic his style a lot. I used to I had good striking, so I was able to hide my grappling behind it, and I was able to take people down. But then I started kind of like my style changed as I got older and as I got more experience. I just decided to be more of like what he does. I like to strike people, and if anything, I'll make you take me down. And I will not allow that. You're going to waste your energy trying to take me down. I don't allow it, and you're going to have to deal with me standing up. So I feel like, yes, when you have a guy like him that you know that he's not going to go to the ground, or if he, like I said, he could surprise me. So I had to, no matter what, I've been training my grappling because you never know. What if he decides, to just start, wrestling me like when we saw the Korean Zombie did to Danny Ige? I didn't see that coming. I'm not saying he doesn't have a grappling, but I really thought, Korean Zombie is gonna go out there and just strike with him. You know what I mean? And no, he went and started taking down Danny Ige, surprised him a lot. So what if he tries to do the same thing? So I gotta be ready.
Definitely got to be ready. And when you look at the differences in your striking arsenal, of course, Danny, you got the leg kicks. You got the kicks because you don't really see the Korean Superboy kicking too much, right? He'll throw them out once in a while. And then, of course, you got the calf kicks. And do you think that's the difference maker? Like, just clear. Like, if you look at the matchup, if you look at the film.
No, I really think that the difference between me and him is who's smarter in the striking area. You know what I mean? Because I think we both are very sharp. I don't think he does. I think the only time he gets a little sloppy is exchanging with people. He gets very excited in the fight. He just wants to start brawling with you, and he gets caught sometimes. That's what he's gotten caught with. But because if you notice that me and him are very methodical striker. We wait, and then we attack. And when we attack with everything. Yes, I kick more than he does, but I saw him kicking a lot, Jimmy Stevens. But of course, Jimmy Stevens is a very flat-footed guy, so I think he was just trying to take away his legs, to take away his movement, take away his power. So I still expect him to probably come and kick. I think what's going to make the difference is who really becomes a smarter striker here. And that's what's going to separate me and him. Who makes the right decisions while we're both striking? That's what's going to separate us. And I believe I'm the one who's going to make that happen. And can't wait.
For sure, man. It's a very exciting matchup, stylistically, and you guys both bring power too. You know what I mean? Both bring serious knockouts. So, let's just jump back to the last fight, man. The last fight, ahead of it, your opponent missed weight. I feel like a lot of people glance over that. They just look at the wins and losses. When you look at it, do you feel like there should be more of a penalty heading into a fight? You took the fight, you didn't have to take the fight. Do you think that there should be a heavier penalty for guys that miss weight in MMA?
Well, I think he already got penalized by the fact that they forced him to fight at 55 again. Because I know he's fighting again on October, September, something like that. I don't really know. I think they forced him to go back to 55 for not making 45. And I don't know if it's not the first time he doesn't make 45. I don't remember really well. Yes, I believe, my personal belief, it was easy for him to give me 30% of his winning purse. I think I should have gotten 30% of his whole entire purse. You know what I mean? And he would have made weight. He said in the post-fight conference, he said, "Oh, but I had to give Danny 30% of my purse," and nobody cares about that. You think I care about 30% of his purse? I care about the W. You know what I mean? I care about the win. And did he have an advantage that night? I'm not gonna make it as an excuse. I lost. It is what it is. He was fat. I'm always gonna call him a fat bitch every time I get an interview, and every time I get asked about him, I'm always gonna call him a fat bitch because he was unprofessional. And I take really a lot of pride of being professional. And this was my second fight going into UFC. That was his 8th fight. And the reason I call him that every single time, not just on the weigh-ins, but every single time I get interviewed and they talk to me about Jared Gordon, I call him a fat bitch. You know why? Because when the day of the weigh-ins, he came up to me to apologize about it, but he looked fresh. He looked like he didn't even try. It felt like it was even a strategy for him, which, hey, it is what it is. I don't really care. It is what it is. I don't look back at the past and be like, oh, this is what happened. No, I still have to make adjustments. I feel like I lost this fight with some technical parts about it. I don't think it was just, oh, he was 4 pounds overweight, that's why he beat me. No. Jared Gordon did his thing. He beat me. So I had to go fix things. You know what I mean? I had to go and make some adjustments in my game and fix certain things that I believe it play a factor too. Not just his weight. I don't think it's, your friends are always gonna come and tell you, oh, he was 4 pounds away. That's why this. Nah, man, no. I'm not gonna look at it like that. I feel like there was a couple of things I could have done right, and a couple of things he did right, and that's why he beat me too. But I think I should have gotten his 30% of his full person. I'll bet you he never would have missed weight. He would have tried to make that weight, and that's why I got mad. I'm really upset. Look, I've lost before. This is my 4th loss. I'm always been cool with a guy that has beat me. I never hold grudges or anything like that. I actually have became acquaintances. Not I want to say friends, but I've been cool with a guy that has beat me. You know what I mean? But basically because we were all professional at that point. And like I said, I just felt like you didn't respect this fight enough. You know what I mean? And I'm just a very professional person, and for him not to take me that serious, I think it just bothered me a lot. I'll be honest. I think that's what bothered me the most. That I was like, yo, I took you really serious, and you're over here playing games. Like, you're 4 pounds overweight. You're not. TJ, for example, when TJ missed weight, he missed 0.5. That was half a pound. And TJ, even after the fight, he was like, yo, man, bad, but I did try to make weight, and I believe he did because he came in at 47 point something, and he tried it twice before he got in the last time the scale, and he was like 0.5, and he had to give the 20%. But he tried. He tried. You know what I mean? Jared didn't try. He didn't care, and that's what get me mad. And that's why every time I have a chance, and I hope he hears this interview, he's a fat bitch, and I'm always gonna say that. I don't care where I'm at. I'm always gonna say that. He deserves to be said that to, for me to say that to him, because like I said. You heard it, right? Like I said, you gotta be professional. Man, we're in the big leagues, man. We're in the big league. There's nothing higher than the UFC. Everybody knows that. So why are you playing games? We were headlighting the prelims card. You know what I mean? I took you very serious, man. And I know you probably took me serious in camp, but in the weight cut, and he came up with excuses. And I don't like excuses. It's like me coming up with excuses of why he beat me. I'm not coming up with excuses. He beat me, and I give it to him. That's it. I call him a fat bitch because I want to call him like that. But he came up with excuses. Oh, my sauna broke. Oh, man, are you serious? Like, there's not like 5 different ways of cutting weight. You could go run. You got sweet sweat. You could put all over your body and put a sauna suit and go run. Yeah, like you could do a hot tub. Like, come on, man. Like I didn't use my sauna because my sauna didn't work either. They, not to diss the UFC, but man, get some better saunas. You know what I mean? Because man, mine didn't work either. It was warm. Like you get in there and it was not hot enough to make me sweat. I was there for 10 minutes and I'm like, I'm dry. And I'm like, bro, I can't do this. So I went for another run, and then I kept doing. My friend Justin at the time, he kept boiling water and putting it in the hot tub, and then I'll get in. If it's too hot, then I'll put a little bit of cold water. I always say you gotta make it hot enough that you could put your balls inside. You know what I mean? Once I could dip from my lower body down, I'm good. My legs, my feet, everything's fine. Just your privates gotta get in there. You know what I mean? Once my privates get in there, I'm good. And that's as hard as I need to be. And I made weight. I even got down. Look, it was a mistake. We calculated a little wrong, but I got down to 45. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to just do 46. I was 148. I did 30 minutes. It was really hot. When I got out, I was 145, and I'm like, damn, an extra pound? You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Those are things that you really can't calculate so well. You know what I mean? How much water do you really lose? It's just hard to calculate that. But for him to walk around like it was all good, not making weight, I don't respect that. And I think that you should be penalized 30% of your whole entire purse. You know what I mean? Or even higher than that. I'll bet you if they tell you you will lose 50% of your whole purse, he will not miss weight. Because at the end of the day, we both have to get depleted. At the end of the day, whether you walk bigger than I do, whether I walk smaller than you do, that's up to you. But we gotta be at 46. And you're lucky that we do have that 1 pound allowance, because let's be real, back in the days, you have to be at 45. You know what I mean? You have to be at 45 on the dot. Anything above that, you're missing weight. Now we get a 1 pound allowance, and you're gonna miss 4. So technically, back in the days, you would have been missing 5. That's a lot, man. Come on, bro, get it together.
Yeah, man, it's this issue that it comes up from time to time, and I think that they do need to make adjustments. Not just the fighters, the commissions
I get
too.
The bubble makes it a little hard.
Yeah.
You don't get to have your usual ways of cutting weight. Me personally, I like the jacuzzi. I like to walk around the jacuzzi. It's hot, but I like to walk around it. It lets me be free. I don't like being in a hot tub. I feel like I'm in like a sardine. I feel like a sardine. I'm just in there like this. I can't move. The only thing I could do is lift up my knees and put my lower body under more, or then get up and just leave my legs under. It just feels uncomfortable, not be able to move. But it is what it is, man. We all gotta pay the same price. It's not like I'm having an advantage here. It's not like, I'm not like I'm able to cut weight somewhere else and he's not. Like, no, we both are being treated the same. So no excuses. I made weight. Why couldn't you? All right. I walk around big too. All right. Off camps, I'm 75. All right. I'm 30 pounds over. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm not. I'm in camp. I'm in the lows. I'm 62, 63 right now. Weight is fine right now. I'm training good, and I'm in good weight. But there's diets. It's not my fault if you don't know how to diet either. There's a lot of man. Google the stuff, man. Google stuff. There's a lot of research out there. We're in 2021. There's a lot of studies. There's a lot of there's a lot of information out there for you to learn how to cut weight already. It's crazy that people nowadays still making mistakes like we're back in 2004, 2003. What's wrong with people, man? It's just called either laziness or I don't know, man. It's whatever thing is that, that's his problem. But I'm trying to be professional, and that's why you know, I'm doing my job. I don't care what anybody else is doing. I'm doing my job, and right now I just gotta make sure I make 146 now for Do Choi, and I can't wait.
Well, I don't think the Korean Superboy has ever missed weight. So
Yeah.
in this fight, man, what are you envisioning, dude? Because if you look at his last couple of
One
fights,
sec.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
One thing about him is his last couple of fights, man. He's won bonuses, and they have been just super exciting, killer be killed type of fights. What do you expect?
Well, the same thing. If I expect anything less, then I'm a fool. You know what I mean? I cannot expect anything less from the Superboy. I'm taking this guy very serious. This is a very serious guy, and at the same time, this guy could change my life. I go out there and I beat Superboy. It gives some respect it puts some respect on my name right now. I believe I have already respect on my name, but it will elevate me right now. And I get it. He's been through some wars, but that's not really a good thing all the time. You know what I mean? I feel like when you go to wars, you remember one thing that we always say as a fighters. You always leave a little piece of yourself in the cage, and he's left a lot. You know what I mean? Now, the only good thing I'll say that's coming for him, it could be a good and a bad one, is that he's been off for so long that he could be recovered. He could reinvent himself. You know what I mean? Or he could be a little rusty. I don't know where he's coming with. You know what I mean? That's not my problem. That's his problem. My job is to expect the best Superboy, so I could go out there and beat and so I could make my camp though. Because I take every fight serious. Everybody. It don't matter. It don't matter if I feel like I have the biggest chance to win this fight. I believe I'm gonna win every fight I fight. Even when I fought Jerry Gordon, it is what it is. I lost, but I really believe I was gonna beat him. You know what I mean? I believe I'm gonna beat every single person that gets in front of me. So I expect the best Superboy, and I've been training my ass off, and I just can't wait because, I think this really could be an opportunity for me to step it up, to be recognized more already. More, it's my third fight only, and I'm already getting Superboy, man. Like I said, it's crazy, but it's dope. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, man. And you're in Florida, Miami. Joe Schilling, he was in Florida. And recently he got into this. Joe Schilling, you've probably seen the video of him at the bar, knocking out the dude at the bar. Have you seen that video, Joe Schilling?
No, I don't think I have it. You know what? Look, I'll be honest. I've been so busy with this fight. I've been so I've been on social media, but I've been more on social media trying to promote myself and all that stuff. I haven't really been watching stuff as much. I watched the fights. I watched the pay-per-view fight, the Conor McGregor fight that just happened. I watched the boxing. I'm watching NBA Finals right now. You know what I mean? But I've been so busy with my own fighting and right from here to the fight right now, the only thing I get busy with is doing interviews, and stuff like that, trying to promote my fight and stuff. So I didn't see, but I guess something happened.
Yeah, something did. Well, let's talk about McGregor, man. He broke his leg, dude. It looked like he broke his leg on a leg kick, to the thigh. And then now he's saying that he had pre-existing fractures in his leg ahead of the fight, but he just fought. It's crazy, right? Would you fight if you already had fractures?
I do believe he had to have some injury before. I've been watching. I watched the replay a couple of times. And Dustin didn't really check any kick. He checked one, and it was the toes hit the knee. That's not enough. That was the toes. Eventually, your toes get hurt, your foot gets hurt. I don't think he hit the shin. I didn't see it. Then somebody else put, I think it was Joe Rogan and some other people put, that when he threw the up kick, it hit the elbow. So I really believe, I was talking to my therapist, Amy, and she was telling me that she believed that these are things that probably has been wearing and tear. Wear and tear.
Yeah, wear and tear. Yeah.
Through camp, something happened through camp probably, and he already had micro fractures in his bone probably, and through all that training, probably it was bound to happen, or because it was just very weird. Look, this is one of the most weird ones because he was just stepping back, and it looked like it was gonna be just a sprained ankle. You know, kind of like what Sean O'Malley went with Chito Vera. You know how Sean O'Malley kind of like twists his ankle a little bit, and it kind of like, but the bone broke. So I think it had to be something happened to Camp as well before the fight, and I don't know if it was him. Like I said, it could have been just the other years of you kicking, and I don't know, probably you did really have some little fracture that you didn't know. That's why you have to always get yourself checked a lot. Not just MRIs or something like that. You gotta check your bones. You gotta see which one is good. It happens. Like, look, when I fought Jared Gordon, my foot was hurting. And I still I didn't want to. The UFC always travels you the very next day. They send you on a plane back to your home. I didn't want to take it because my foot was a little hurt, and I knew that if I go in an airplane, it's just gonna swell up even more because of the altitude. So I decided to get my own ticket 2 days later. So I stayed in Vegas. I went. I left the bubble, and I went and stayed in the MGM. I lost, so I thought I was partying. I was doing anything. I was sad. I was miserable. So all I did was walk around. I had to go eat somewhere, eventually. And I was taking ibuprofen. I was just walking around. Eventually, I felt like my foot was better. When I got here to Miami, the UFC sent me to the doctors because I was telling them that my foot hurt. So I wanted to go get checked out. I had a broken bone, and I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I broke my bone kicking Jared. You know what I mean? So who knows if he had like a little bit of, and he probably thought it was just like some soreness during camp. He's like, oh, it's just sore or something. Because what you think when you train so hard, everything is soreness. You just think everything is soreness. And probably he had like a little slight hairline fracture, and he didn't know because he didn't feel it wasn't so painful. And, when he was in the fight, he was kicking hard, that fight, and probably all those kicks plus the up kick, all of that probably did it eventually eventually that's what caused the bone to break eventually. And then him stepping the way he stepped, sliding his ankle that way, and then the bone just gave up in there. So, and if you noticed it, he stepped hard on that cross because he didn't just, normally you throw a cross and you don't pick your foot off the ground unless you're really stepping forward a lot. But it looked like he stepped to step on that cross. He went to step on the cross. So when he went to step on the cross is when it happened. So I think it had to be something that it was over time that he was hurting that part. That I believe that. I don't really know. We need like a doctor to tell us because we really don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think fighters are gonna be learning a lot from what happened in that fight, and like you said, get checked, make sure you're okay, make sure your bones is right.
Invest on your body, man. That's your money maker. I always tell all the fighters, man, all my friends, all my teammates, invest on your body. That's your money maker, man. You can't without your body, you're not gonna be able to make money in this. All right, you're not a rapper. You're not an actor. You're not none of that. You're a fighter. Your body is your moneymaker. So go take care of it.
All right. One last thing. I wanted to get your thoughts on the next title fight, UFC 266, Volkanovski versus Ortega. Do you think Ortega has that all-around skill set to go out and take the belt from Volkanovski?
I think anybody could get caught in a fight. Anybody could. Ortega's still a great fighter, has a lot of range. You know what I mean? But I still thought Max Holloway has a lot of range too. Max Holloway is more like taller than longer from arms. You know what I mean? He doesn't really have so much reach. Brian Ortega has more reach. But I think Brian Ortega does really well against fighters that want to fight with him a little more stationary. That's not Alexander. Alexander moves a lot, man. He just side to side all the time, kicks, punch, side to side, moves a lot, kicks, punch. It's hard to guess where he's at. You know what I mean? So I got Alexander in this fight. I think I don't think Ortega has, he still could catch him. Let's say he in exchange hurts him a little bit. Ortega could just jump in a guillotine and trying to go finish that because he has good jiu-jitsu. But if we're gonna go based on the striking and everything, and don't forget Alexander has great wrestling and he has I've never really seen his jiu-jitsu like that to know, but I seen him get hurt by Max Holloway and not really shy away. Like he's tough. He's not just talent. He's tough. He's a champion for a reason. But his style he's not gonna be right in front of Ortega. He's not gonna be in front of Ortega, and I think that's what's gonna give a lot of trouble to Ortega. I think Ortega is very successful with stationary fighters, and that's not Alexander.
All right, man. Well, you're back in the cage, July 31st, Las Vegas. Appreciate the time, Danny. We'll reach out again and speak with you. And yeah, man, good luck on the fight.
Hey, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it for the interview. Want to give a little quick shout out to my gym MMA masters, my teammates, my coaches, Cesar Carneiro, Daniel Valverde, my strength and conditioning coach, Jonathan Lopez. I got a bunch of sponsors, but it's just hard to call all of them right now. But, my therapist, Amy, I'll say, I have a lot of sponsors, man. Right now, I just can't really think of all of them, but I just want to thank everybody that's been helping me right now for this camp. Everybody that's been involved in my journey from day one. Since I was 19 years old, I'm 34. I've been 15 years in the making. I'm doing this for a lot of things, guys. Not only just for myself reason, my own reasons, but I do it for a lot of reasons. I'm trying to go out there and put Colombia on the map. I'm really doing this for Colombia too. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I need to get my hand raised in this fight. This fight could change my life right now.